Hello fellow addicts and welcome to MTG Mental numero trace. We're back with the starter decks and I'm back for the second time because I did a fair amount of this video and then realized I wasn't recording. So here we are. Silver lining, I'm better at the decks, I guess. As you can see, I actually have my swagger on today. It's not official MTG merch, but I finally found a use for Spider-Ham and honestly my Spider-Man MTG cards in general. So if you've been struggling with that and need to find a use for your Spider-Man magic cards besides like firewood or something, then consider unofficial merchandise. Or you can use them as coasters. You know, the choice is yours. So I've been kind of working it out in that video that I didn't record at all, that I have 7 decks left, and if I keep going at the speed that I'm going, it'll take a while. But I decided I'll just do that and try and dish out the videos really fast, maybe 2 in one day, because I'm a little bit tired of the starter decks. And even though no one watches my videos, you guys would theoretically be tired of starter decks too. So I'm just gonna hurry and go through 2 every video, and then for one video I'm gonna do 3. So we're gonna do Learn from the Land today, Might of the Legion, then Morbid Machinations, Path of Power, and then Reckless Raid, Vampiric Hunger, and Wondrous Wizardry. And then we'll finally be over, and I will be able to create my 10 out of 10 Kithkin deck, which I know all of you guys would theoretically be looking forward to if you watched my channel. It'll happen someday. I'm not really in a rush. I'm a little bit. I could use it. I really appreciate validation, if I'm being honest. But right now, since I'm not getting any, I think the climb to the top will feel even better. So today we're going to be playing Learn from the Land first, which is probably my favorite starter deck, maybe tied with Vampiric Hunger. But if you know me, then you know that I really like snowball decks. And none of you know me because, once again, my current videos have 0 views, which is fine. I already said it's fine. But I'm just saying why you wouldn't know me. But now that you do know me, I like snowball stuff. And this Simic deck is pretty much the closest we get in the starter decks to a deck that snowballs. Unless you pull out Kranko in that other deck. But do you even want to throw that in there? I feel like everyone's tired of Kranko anyways. I remember Kranko from being a little chitlin, and that card was already annoying, so if I'm still annoyed by it, it's pretty bad. Addiction. Anyways, what do we have in this deck? Well, it's pretty much landfall and really fast land. You pretty much just pray that you get Druid of the Cowl and Llanowar Elves on your first turns, and then by like turn 4, you can have like 6 or 7 mana or something close to that. And for your greatest spells, you've got like Rampaging Baloths, which pretty much just destroy if you can get it and keep it on your battlefield. Primeval Bounty is OP, and there is nothing in these decks that can counter enchantments. In fact, there's nothing in these decks that counter spells other than creature spells, so stuff like Primeval Bounty is kind of OP. For snowballing, you've got Mossborn Hydra, which is really fun. Any of the Hydras are just a hoot, and it doubles anytime you lay a land down, which is really cool. You have Loot's better brother, Exuberant Explorer, who's not quite so cringy and maybe a little bit more balanced, but you can tap him to look through your library for a creature card equal to the amount of land that you have, which is really fun. For your regular cards, you got Spectral Sailor, Mischievous Mystic, which makes a nice little engine. You've got a couple bounce back cards, which are really ideal. And then Tatiova, kind of a baddie, and I see her in almost every game that I play or play against this deck with. And she's just such a nice, like, stable creature. And people usually can't decide whether or not to take her out, which is really helpful. And you've got two other big creatures with Elfsworn Giant, really nice for decks like the Arcane Aerialists, and Apothecary Stomper, which is just really decent in general. Anyways, other than that, Felling Blow, always fun. Quick Study, a bit of draw. Let's get her going. I also got the new companion, which I'm really excited about. I really liked that Changeling Moose, but the moves were getting to be a bit too much for my taste. Going against a baddie. We drew... we drew 2 land... Circuitous Root. I'll keep it. I bet Quick Study. Oh, I forgot that it was 3 mana, so I might have actually cooked this game, which is so unfortunate because I have been on a total winning streak in these videos, I mean. And he has the Pet Rock and the Goblin glass art sleeves. So I think this guy's probably a G, the Fervent. So, I don't have very high hopes, and I'm always really jealous of those Pet Rocks. That is rough. We might just have to take this as a sack game. Screw it. I have faith. We might be like 3 turns behind now. But that never stopped anybody. This will help us next turn. We're back on track. Okay. This is not super ideal. But who doesn't love a good comeback story? I'm sweating a little bit, if I'm being honest. My boots are shaking a little bit, but I can take out one of his goblins, which is kind of funny. Alright. That's a little bit rough. It's crazy that I can play that already. Man, we're gonna have to play this so carefully. Bounce back. Bounce back that homie, because I know he would just make all of his creatures better next turn. And then a Llanowar Elves will take the sacrifice maybe next turn. No attacks. 4, 5, 6 damage is not ideal. Block. And block. Man, this is a rough start to this video, and I don't really regret anything because sometimes I feel like only cowards mulligan. Granted, I think I've mulliganed in all of these videos so far, but I feel like I needed a little bit of extra testosterone, if you know what I mean. Or a little bit of asserted dominance. Dang. I think he has me. Yeah, GG. I'm gonna hit him with a quick that's rough, buddy.
That's rough, buddy.
Because I don't even know if I could. Block. Block. This is tight. Boom. Comeback story of the year. I'm a little bit sweaty, but you know what? I can honestly just felling blow to his flying creature and put 3+1/+1 counters on target creature spell or creature you control. What if we just stick that on Big Fin Bouncer? That is a random choice, but why not? That's rough. Hit him with my cabbages. I forgot about that card. And that's kind of my fault. Oh, man. I just need like one Elf-Sworn Giant, I swear. Homie only has one card in his hand. Granted, I only have one card in my hand. But I feel like there's gotta be a chance. Okay. This is random. Alright, this could actually be very ideal for us. It might be a little bit of a sacrifice. I forgot about that. And an Elf-Sworn Giant for next turn. Alright, so the thing is, I think we might actually be surviving, which is crazy. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to swing this turn because, you know, I'm not in the mood to sacrifice anything. He's got one card left in his hand. And 7 mana, which should be fun. Another Sarah Angel. So he can do 2 damage to me this turn. And then I can gain like 6 life next turn. Just trying to figure out how to do this. Oh. Okay, never mind. I guess he just won't even do anything with that. So I would love to have Rampaging Bayless down already, but flying is a bit of a menace. And if you've seen my arcane video, you know that I mean what I'm saying. So we're gonna hit him with the Elf-Sworn Giant, make a 1/1 elf, which you just imagine would have reach as well, because he does, but you know, sometimes it just works out like that. This might be a little naughty, but I really like to start stacking with this deck, because I just get too scared that I'm going to slip up somehow. And all these cards just start compounding on top of each other. And in his deck, I feel like that's not really a thing, like, at all. Oh. I guess he can just do that every turn, which is slightly unfortunate. But it's chill. Alright. Cool. Oh, I don't know why I didn't wait for Rampaging Bayliths. That was a bit goofy. Pardon my spawning. Oh, but I can still play it. So, never mind, we're Gucci. Wait, what? What did I just... Oh, right. Boom. This is the most overpowered Mischievous Mystic I have seen in a while. And I'm all here for it. It's kind of all about, you know, yesterday I talked about making your angelic helpful hunter, which is kind of funny in my opinion. Oof. Oof. And I think that's the best part of this game, is you just take meme creatures and make them gods. And I think that's why Magic is such a, you know, powerhouse of a game, because you don't have to just use Eldrazi to destroy. When you're playing real decks, that's a little bit unfortunate. Untap all creatures you control. Wait, why is she swinging? What? Am I missing something? Flying, Vigilance, Haste? I think this is his YOLO moment, which is a little bit funny. Oops, I actually messed it up. Oopsie daisy, block, 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 and block. Oh, I'm missing a Sarah Angel somehow? How am I missing a Sarah Angel? There. Did I do that right? I don't even know what's going on. I can barely even see. Okay, well, it was a good last-ditch effort. Let's hit him with a "That's rough, buddy." And now you can see why this game is just so freaking fun to play with this deck. Even though it's a starter deck, yeah, GG. So that's about your average landfall experience, I feel like. Now, Might of the Legion, the deck we just barely went against. I don't actually play this deck very often, and I barely know what's going on, if I'm being real. A bunch of just goblins, your standard goblins, and tons of tokens. Right, okay. A bunch of tokens, 2 Sarah Angels, and that card that he just sacrificed for some reason in the last video, Aurelia. So I think you're always just praying for Aurelia, or Celestial Armor is pretty nice. And Crusader of Odric actually seems pretty central to this deck, because you just make as many tokens as possible, and then you have like a 6/6 Crusader of Odric for 3 mana, which is pretty cool. Pardon me. Because chickens just lost the balance. They lost the way of life. It's kind of like the way wolves turned into Yorkshire Terriers. Velociraptors just turned into chickens. And, well, I don't know. That's something to think about. Just with the chicken or the egg. Okay, we're going up against the blue-red deck, I think. Yeah. So there's that. This might also be a boring battle. So I don't know. Here's the thing. All evolution is kind of through mutations in itself, and chickens were made through evolution. And if we're talking about OG chickens, I honestly don't even know what an OG chicken is, if I'm being real. Does anyone know what an OG chicken is? If I weren't in the middle of this kind of funny game, I would happily research or chat GPT when the original chicken was. But unfortunately, we're stuck for the 4th battle playing this blue or this red-white deck, and he's about to assassinate my Crusader. I'm losing hope fast. This is like the worst streak that I've been on. Oh man, that would be cool. If it was an instant, but it's not. So let's just start swinging with some hot damage. I'm getting a little bit tired of this deck. Is it just not my type? That's something I've been realizing with these starter decks, even though it might not be valid because I'm literally basing all of my knowledge off of playing these starter decks. But I definitely get some sort of kick. Prowess? Ooh, that actually seems pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead Sure. Why would I swing? Man, I'm thinking too deep into this. I'm actually getting genuinely tilted. And somehow he's about to destroy my angel, which would be so unfortunate. He's got 4 extra mana. 3 extra mana. Alright. Buddy boy. If I'm being genuine, I didn't realize that that ability stacked. Why didn't I lightning bolt? I literally didn't realize that that stacked. Oh, this deck is gonna drive me crazy. One, two. Oh, and then it wouldn't even be enough to play the fellas. So I may as well save Fanatical. Oh. Yeah, that looks like the better way to play it. Alright, I'm going to play this with a kicker and take out that homie because that was a little bit too stressful last time. Oh. And I have no elixir left. And I can actually start doing damage because she has vigilance. We're back in business. This might be the actual time where we win with white-red. And then I think we're going to wait at least 3 years until we build a deck with this archetype. Which, that's unfortunate. Which is actually just fine because I'm planning on grinding this Kithkin deck until Lorwyn goes out of cycle. Because I just have such a strong feeling that it's going to destroy with that Ajani card and all the funny Kithkin that just look like little trolls that I don't really think I'm worrying at all about it, if I'm being honest. Alright, I'm literally just gonna swing with everything. Alright, that is a bold move. Granted, he has a full hand. He only has 1 health. I guess I have 6 health, which is not that much better. But it's certainly better than 1. Alright. We won! We actually did it. Alright, I gotta say this, but that deck is dookie. Maybe the algorithm was just doing me dirty, but I'm so tired of that. I literally couldn't even keep my own conversation going because I was just getting so tilted. It could entirely be my fault. Maybe I didn't mulligan at the right times. But with this, I'm going to say screw that deck, and we're so close to being done with the starter decks. I don't even know why I keep doing this. Just, I'm literally nervous about normal decks. I've said a million times. But, bye!